Launched by physics, not by luck. Our stickman drags a cast iron pan onto a balcony like a roadie rolling out an amp. A tiny HUD pops up. Surface temp. Core temp. Minutes to safe zone. Wind speed. 3 tools. 3 heat moves. Conduction from hot metal. Radiation from a smug sun. Convection from a rocket stove that inhales like a tiny dragon. No gas. No problem today. We plate calories with contact patches. Mirror angles and airflow that actually has a job description. Conduction first. Cast iron is your stubborn friend. It heats slow, holds long, and forgives clumsy timing. Our hero preheats until a droplet skitters Leidenfrosts. Tiny hovercraft then lowers the flame substitute. Charcoal, alcohol stove, or induction if the grid's alive. The HUD tracks specific heat in spirit, not units. Bigger pan means bigger heat bank. He spreads oil thin because thick oil insulates and seats food like he's signing a contract full contact. No drafts. Pan flat. Ego flatter. The rule of contact area. More real estate. More heat transfer. He doesn't That's how Steam throws a surprise party and Crust never gets the invite. Tongue's position edges down. Fat side to the metal first. Skin dry. Salt's honest. He nudges. He doesn't scrape if it sticks. It's not ready. The HUD line climbs to the 65 minus 70 degrees Celsius safe plateau for chicken, higher for leftovers. Flip discipline is a religion. Once for steak, twice for patience. Never for boredom. Windscreens are the difference between chef and cam tragedy. Heat hates cross breezes. Our stickman shields with a folding panel, pot skirt, or a circle of bricks knot to trap fumes just to stop the atmosphere from mugging the flame. Clearances stay sane. Airflow has an entry and exit, not a panic spiral. The HUD shows fuel per minute dipping as the screen embraces the pot. Less angry air. More quiet calories. A wooden spoon becomes a staff of office. Rocket stove, time the convection engine. He feeds small sticks, dry and square. Tip in, not log jammed. The vertical riser gets hot and stays hot. Draw improves. Flames turn blue at the tips, and the HUD shows clean exhaust. He lifts the pot just off the riser cap for a high shear gap where exhaust scrubs the base. That thin layer is the whole trick. Thin boundary, thick victory. He adds a simple pot skirt around the sides to make the hot gases actually touch their destiny. Solar cooker. Radiation in a tuxedo. He unfolds a reflector like origami for photons. Angles it till the pan's shadow hides behind itself. And preheats a dark pot with a transparent lid. Radiation cares about color and line of sight, not your schedule. Our hero tilts every 10 to 15 minutes to chase the sun, because the sun refuses to chase him. The HUD glows smug. Slow climb, zero fuel, quiet birds. Baked potatoes become a lesson in patience that tastes like butter. Specific heat is the sneaky judge. Water needs gossip and a lot of joules before it boils. Oil is low drama, heats faster, bites harder. He warms a shallow pool of oil for quick sears, reserves water for starches that demand it, and uses steam for gentle priming. The HUD's minute stew temp estimates shrink when mass shrinks. Cut smaller. Cook faster. He never tries to bully a liter of soup with 3 twigs. He reduces scope or increases flame, not denial. Thermometers end arguments. Probe goes into the thickest part. Tip shy of the pan, not bottoming out on iron cosplay. 65 degrees Celsius for eggs to set, 70 degrees Celsius for poultry safety, 75 minus 100 degrees Celsius for reheat to confidence. He doesn't guess by steam drama. Steam is dramatic at many wrong temperatures. The HUD chirps at thresholds. He removes, rests, and watches carryover finish the sprint. Safety isn't a vibe. It's a number sneaking up politely while you plate. Cast iron seasoning is physics you can taste. He wipes a film of oil after cleaning. Heats till it stops crying and lets it cool like a piano. That polymer layer is a non-stick that doesn't file HR complaints at high heat. He never floods a cold pan with cold food. That's how heat sinks file revenge. The HUD shows surface recovery, time drop a cutlet, wait for the line to bounce back, then add another, temper your ambition. Not just your steel. Bread on a balcony. Steam bath. Not bakery cosplay. He preheats a heavy pot and lid, drops the dough on parchment, slashes, and captures steam. Conduction from the base sets the first crust. Radiation from the lid browns the dome. Convection inside moves moisture like a gentle lawyer. The HUD humidity icon spikes, then fades. 20 minutes covered. 10 uncovered. And the loaf thumps like a drum with opinions. He lets it cool, because gums are not ready for lava. Stir fry on a rocket stove demands a smaller mountain. He cuts into bite-sized respect, organizes mise en place like a speedrun, and stages watery veg last so the wok doesn't cry. Oil, at shimmer, aromatics kiss, protein sear, sauces reduce, and the windscreen keeps the flame honest. The HUD's pan temperature line zigzags. He works with it, pulling the pan off the riser for 15 seconds when it screams, pressing back when it sulks, rhythm greater than rage. Pasta without a rolling boil. Sure, less water. Lid closed. Stir early. He uses just enough to submerge, starts in cold water, and nudges the starch to behave. Conduction in the pot, convection in the swirl, radiation from the lids, glowing smugness. The HUD shows 90 minus 95 degrees Celsius doing the job if you give time. He finishes in the sauce with a splash of starchy water. Emulsion forms. Pride recedes. Noodles gleam. He pretends he planned it all along. We nod. Beach cookery adds wind, sand, and gulls with opinions. He anchors the stove, digs a shallow pit for shelter, and sets a high-sided pot to avoid wind theft. Solar cooker gets a reflector sunbonnet. Rocket stove gets a stricter skirt. The HUD's wind sensor spikes. He adjusts the windward gap smaller. Leeward exit clearer. Flames stop licking sideways. Heat resumes climbing civilly. Seafood hits the pan. Salt throws a parade, and the horizon pretends to applaud. Contact tricks! More browning for less fuel. He presses with a spatula for 3 seconds to seat edges, then holds off. He stacks cutlets to keep heat in the family while the next round's seared. Rotates positions across hotter and cooler zones, and uses a preheated trivet to rest without chilling. The HUD keeps a heat map of the pan. Center bossy. Rim polite. He plays chess across cast iron like a tiny general with herbs. Burners, we're the burner. Lids are time machines. Cover on. Convection trapped. Radiation recycled. Evaporation scolded. Cover off. Millard moves in with loud music. He toggles to steer texture. 4 beans. He goes covered until tender, then uncovers to reduce. For crisp skin, he sears uncovered, then covers with the heat off for 2 minutes of steam finish. The HUD humidity trace becomes predictable. We call this competence, but it feels like a cheat code. Fuel economy is geometry. He cuts sticks uniform, feeds little and often, and keeps flames below the pot edge where they touch metal, not the atmosphere. He doesn't let charcoal wander. He corrals it under the pan base, not a scenic perimeter. The HUD tracks grams of fuel per degree of rise. He treats the score like golf. Less is more. More is waste. And ash is just the credits rolling. He sweeps between rounds because clean grates are honest grates. Safety audit. Never cook with carbon monoxide as a sous chef. Rocket stoves live outdoors or in serious hoods. Alcohol stoves need clear zones. Solar cookers don't care, but glass gets hot. He keeps water within reach. A glove that actually fits, and a stable tripod that wouldn't make a toddler nervous. The HUD flashes a quiet vent reminder. When flames show mood swings, our hero listens. Food is better when we're still here to eat it. Cleanup is thermal logic. While the pan is warm, not volcanic, he scrapes with a wooden spatula, deglazes with a splash of hot water, and wipes with a towel that forgives. Soap, if sticky sweet sauces demand. Otherwise, salt to scrub. Rinse, dry. Oil kiss, he lets the rocket stove burn clean to ash, taps out gently, and stores dry. The HUD zeroes the fuel log like a satisfied accountant. Tomorrow's first flame will light clean and even. Menus follow physics, not mood. Windy day. He braces, or stews lids, and screens win. Blazing sun. He bakes or slow roasts in the solar box while he swims. Short sticks. Short cooks. Eggs. Quesadillas. Thin cuts. Thick cuts are weekend diplomacy. He starts on rocket, finishes in solar warmth. The HUD calendar matches weather. We don't fight sky, we schedule around it. Dinner arrives on time because the forecast was the prep list. Epilogue on the balcony. A plate of seared veggies, a wedge of bread that still crackles, and a kettle full of water at a smirk under boil. Our stickman leans back. The HUD fades to a tiny check mark, and the city hums without him. Gas stayed off. Lunch showed up anyway. Conduction did the handshake. Convection carried the briefcase. Radiation signed the check. Physics cooked. Luck just took the photo. Tomorrow! The menus, whatever the sun and the stakes agree on.